Hi guys, my name is Mariana. Welcome to my core, and today I'm going to be talking about how Netflix ruined casual watching. So I have been thinking about making this for a while now. I do video essays about TV shows here and there, and I've been thinking about this for a very long time. I've made several tweets about it. It's like, girl, at this point, do you rap or do you tweet, bitch, get in a booth? So I said, you know what? Exactly. Let's get in a booth and let's make a video essay about it so I can rant and finally get out all of my problems with streaming services. Basically, I have like some facts that I googled and then how I feel. So Netflix was founded August 1997. The website launched in 1998, which is the year I was born. It launched as a streaming service in 2007. 2010 it became an app available, because at the start of it you can only get it through DVD. So 2010 you can get it as an app. In 2008 Hulu launched in the US. I couldn't figure out like where they launched before that and like when it was, but Hulu launched in the US in 2008. Blockbuster closed the remaining stores November 2013, which was a decade ago. Isn't that crazy? Apple and Disney Plus started November 2019, and from my memory a lot of streaming services offset after that, like 2020 Peacock and HBO Max came out. Don't quote me, but I think since streaming services, cable has declined 40%, which is a lot. It doesn't sound like a lot when you think about like how many people exist in like the US, but like 40% is a lot. So yeah, basically my family has been using Netflix since you could mail DVDs. I remember me and my family, we weren't like a big theater family, but we loved like watching movies together. We would do this thing on Fridays where we would go to the family video store and we would pick out a family movie, and then everybody else would get their own movie, and like we would make dinner together and then we would watch a family movie. And like family video is how I watched like Jennifer's Body for the first time. I don't know how I got away with that. How I watched Easy A for the first time, how I watched Tangle for the first time, because like I said, we just were not a movie theater family, which is so weird to me. I don't know. And so we discovered Netflix, and that was like an easier way for us to like watch our family movies together. I think first DVD my mom got from Netflix was Charles in Charge. That's also how I watched like The Facts of Life. Basically my mom would use it to introduce us to TV shows that she loved in like the 80s, because that's pretty much what Netflix was when they first started out with the DVD in the mail thing. Like it was pretty much just like older TV shows, and so you would just order it online, they would send it to you in the mail, and then you would send it back by leaving it in your mailbox, I think, or dropping it off. I think we would just leave it in our mailbox. But I used to watch a lot of TV. I stayed watching Disney Channel. It was actually quite embarrassing, but like TV is how I found, like TV has always meant so much to me. Like even not cable, like I remember when the CW used to play like a lot of black TV shows like Girlfriends, 101, like all those type of TV shows. And I also remember like the CW, I don't know if anybody remembers this, but the CW used to play movies on the weekends. Like Saturdays and Sundays was strictly movies. They did not have any TV shows on there. All day Saturdays and Sundays was like My Name Was Earl and movies. Like I was a TV fiend. Like I loved watching TV. I would just channel surf all day. It's how I discovered some of my favorite movies. It's actually how I discovered one of my favorite movies, Little Miss Sunshine. I was just scrolling through the TV and I was like, oh, like I know this actor, this movie looks pretty good, I'm gonna watch it. Ended up being one of my favorite movies ever. I was just sitting thinking, I don't do that anymore. I don't find new movies just channel surfing, because if I see a movie and I don't feel like I'm gonna like it, I'm just not gonna watch it. But like back in the day, that wasn't a thing. Like you would just I would just watch a channel all day and not really feel like changing it, and I would just watch what they had, and I would change it once they start, because you know when you with cable they would just replay the same things like after a point. So I hated watching things over again after I just watched it, so then I would change to a different channel. But for the most part I was watching the same channel all day. But I made my mom stop paying for it. I didn't make her, but I suggested that we stopped having cable because we had streaming services, because I was still watching Disney Channel at the age of 20. Yeah, it was quite embarrassing. I would literally just have Disney Channel on and I would read my book. Like it would just be on in the background and I would just be reading. Or I would switch to like, obviously I watch like adult TV, but because I grew up with cable and I grew up with Disney Channel. And I watched Nickelodeon, I watched Cartoon Network, I watched the Discovery Channel, I watched the Boomerang Channel. Like, I watched all those channels. I'm not saying I didn't, but Disney Channel was like my main thing. And so because I grew up watching it, it was just like a reflex to me. And so I gave the idea to my mom to stop paying for cable because we weren't really watching TV all that much, and we had so many streaming services. So I was like, maybe we should just pay for Wi-Fi. And ever since then, we haven't had any like cable. Like, I haven't watched cable in so long. I have like bullet points. I literally, okay, so I have everything written out on my iPad and I have bullet points, and there's no transition here. Like, my next bullet point is they ruined theme songs. There's no transition, but that's my next bullet point. So my next point is that I just feel like streaming services have definitely ruined like theme songs. Like, I'm watching the OC right now, and I started watching the OC like 2 summers ago, and then I kind of stopped because I'm terrible at binge watching things. Like, after it gets to like season 4, I just jump out for some reason. And the seasons in the OC is long. Like, their seasons are like 25, 26, 27 episodes. Like, it's not this usual 22 episodes. Like, no, they go to 27. Like, season 1 was almost 30 episodes, girl. So it was hard for me to like stay focused. But yeah, so I'm rewatching the OC, and the theme song is just so catchy. Like, when you think like One Tree Hill, Veronica Mars, like those like were such good theme songs. And then, okay, at least like, you know, a little bit after that you get like a little jingle, like a cute little catchy sound. Now you get a title card, just Gossip Girl, no, you know, little theme playing in the background, nothing. Like, what? Like, what happened to that? That's what makes stuff fun. Like, literally, I was watching TikTok the other day, and I watched a video of Amanda Steinfeld, she was singing the OC theme song, and like, I've been wanting to rewatch it because I'm like such in like this summer mood. Once it hits spring, to me it's summer. Like, that's just how I feel about it. Sorry. So I'm like in a summer mood, and so I'm like, oh, like I've been thinking ever since I heard her singing the song, I'm like, I want to watch, like subliminally, like I want to watch the OC. Like, it's just so unfortunate. And another thing is, like, we are down to 8-episode TV shows. Like I was talking about earlier, my binge watching is so bad. I used to be able to binge watch all 9 seasons of Vampire Diaries. I cannot get past 4 seasons now. Like, for the life of me. If the show was 45 minutes with 22 episodes, I am struggling. If it's 20 minutes with 22 episodes, I'm just barely making it through. But if it's 45 minutes, I'm not getting, like, my attention span has been ruined because TV shows, like, and it used to be 13 episodes, and I was like, okay. I mean, like The Walking Dead, when The Walking Dead came out, it had 13 episodes, and I think that was so perfect for The Walking Dead. Like, the first season having 13 episodes, it was so perfect. Or like when you think about Game of Thrones, like Game of Thrones having, I think Game of Thrones also did like 13 episodes. It was like 10 or 13, but that makes sense for Game of Thrones because it's like, I don't know, it's so much plot going on. It just fits Game of Thrones. It makes sense. But not every fantasy TV show can only survive off 8 episodes. My favorite TV show of like 2023 was Gen V. I loved it so much, but my biggest critique is the fact that it was 8 episodes. Everything happened so fast. It happened so fast and nothing was fleshed out. And I was just like, even if you would have just given it 13 episodes, or The Acolyte. If you watch any of my video essays, I somehow still am bringing up The Acolyte in all of my videos, even though it got canceled after 1 season and it's been months since it ended. But The Acolyte is a Star Wars TV show, my favorite Star Wars TV show. You can watch it, and like it doesn't, not having season 2 doesn't matter because the way that ended was actually perfect. If it would have had season 2, we would have had a very happy Mayana, is all I have to say. But basically, that show had 8 episodes, and 2 of the episodes were flashbacks, which were not needed. The flashback episodes could have been taken out of the story and it would have been great, but it just feels like everything happened so fast, and those flashback episodes took away from the story, especially because the first 2 episodes were like pretty good, and then the 3rd episode I think is the flashback, and then like the 4th episode is, oh, this is getting better. The 5th episode was insane. 6th episode, a flashback. 7th episode is the finale. The hell am I gonna do with this? You know, it's a great show. I love it, but the 7 episodes, it's like wearing it down. Or like even Sex Lives of College Girls. My rubber band just popped and it like hit the shit out of me actually. Even the Sex Lives of College Girls, that show only having a few like 10 episodes for a sitcom. Like even sitcoms are now having to suffer from like these shorter episodes. Why does a sitcom only have like 10 episodes? What, like, why does the Sex Lives of College Girls only have like 10 episodes? You're following 4 girls for the entirety of 1 episode for the entirety of a season. Like they all have like their own personal plot lines and then a bigger plot line for them together. And every single episode is like their own plot lines, and then you have their overarching like seasonal plot lines. It doesn't make sense as to why you only get 10 episodes for them. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me. And then it's like we used to get 2 seasons of a TV show in 1 year. Now we're getting 1 season every 2 years. I don't understand what's taking them so long. Because 1, we have to wait till it gets renewed. Back in the day, a show would just get renewed for season 2 before it even like aired. Like one of my favorite cartoons is Sabrina the Animated Show. That got 2 seasons. I'm pretty sure I'm the only person in the world who's seen this show. It's my favorite animated show of all time. I'm pretty sure besides like Gravity Falls and Over the Garden Wall, like those are also my favorite cartoons of all time. But I'm sure nobody else has seen the show. But guess what? It got 2 seasons and a bunch of random ass movies. Because shows used to get renewed before it even aired. And then it's like, so now you gotta wait until the show air. You gotta wait till the show come out. Then you gotta wait a few weeks after that to get renewed for a new season. And then, like when you think about like, okay, Percy Jackson, for example. It just got renewed for a season 3. Thank God, because those kids are going fast as hell. So, you know, you have season 1. They look like little tiny babies or whatever. And then you have to wait for that to get renewed so they can start filming season 2. And then, you know, you have to wait for that to get renewed. And then they have to start filming season 2. I know no kids about to get on here looking grown as hell in the 2nd season. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like you have to wait, so it doesn't make any sense. Like shows like Bridgerton kind of make sense because of like costuming and things like that, but it doesn't make any sense that you make the audience wait for so long just for, and then it's like, then it might not even get renewed. It might just get canceled. And TV, like streaming services aren't taking into account that like things grow over time. Like Teen Wolf, I was in a Teen Wolf fandom since the start, since the 1st season, and the fandom in the 1st season was not nearly as big as the fandom in the 3rd season. Once Styles got out of the buzz cut and he started growing his hair, that's when people started viewing it, and then they started being like, oh my god, Styles, Styles, Styles. Like I love Styles, like he's my favorite character, period. But people only started watching because Styles was cute, which like period girly, you know. But it's like that show didn't get its audience until about season 3. So it's like, how do you expect everyone? And then it's like, why would I watch a show? And I actually have a rule now where I don't watch TV shows unless they've been renewed for a 2nd season. And there's so many TV shows that I haven't watched because it got canceled after the 1st season. And it's like, why would you? And it's like they're so greedy. And it's like, if you don't hit a certain amount of views, and it's like it has to be out whatever, I don't know, if you don't hit a certain amount of views, then you're just not getting renewed, which I think is so crazy because like they're so greedy for views. I had this video planned about Tiny Pretty Things. It was a book adaptation and I liked it at the time, but then once I started thinking about it as like an adult with a fully developed frontal lobe, I started looking back on it and I was like, this is not a good show. But anyways, when I was planning out the video, I was doing research and I was watching one of the cast, he talked about the show and like why I got canceled and all this stuff. He said that Netflix said that the completion rate isn't what they were looking for, even though the show had 32 million views on the they had 32 million people that finished the show, but it wasn't what they were looking for. 32 million people, but it was not what they were looking for. How greedy can one really be? Like that's absolutely insane to me. And like, what's Tiny Pretty Things a good show? At the time when I was watching it, but like like I said, as an adult with a fully developed frontal lobe, it was not that great. Absolutely insane. And it's like shows are getting canceled after 2 seasons no matter how good it is. Like it doesn't matter. No matter how many views it has, it could be Netflix or Hulu or whoever top show, but because it didn't hit like a certain number for them, suddenly the show is just not good enough. And then it's like people don't care about diversity anymore. If a show is like too diverse, suddenly it's woke. And woke is bad because people have now taken the term woke, which just meant like, oh, I'm a black person, I care about these things, like I care about these issues, I care about Black Lives Matter, all this stuff, like I'm woke. It went from being that to woke being a synonym for diverse. So whenever someone's like, oh, don't want to watch this because it's woke, it's not that. It's not woke, it's just diverse. It has black people in it and you don't want to see it. I personally think that we should be able to see ourselves in TV shows. Like somebody commented on my video last time and they were like, oh, why would Hollywood pander towards black people when black people only make up 14% of the US? So I shouldn't be pandered to because I only make up 14%? So I don't exist to you? I don't matter because I only make up 14%? I exist, don't I? 14% exists, doesn't it? And it's not even like black media doesn't do well. You have one of those days, Black Panther, like black media does well. They're racist. It's not because they're losing money. Hollywood is losing more money by not pandering to people of color than they are by being racist. Hollywood care about money so much until it comes to casting people of color. Then all of a sudden nobody wants to do it. You know how many shows I sit here, like, literally I have a rule where I have to genuinely be interested in a TV show in order for me to watch it. Otherwise, if there's no black women, I'm not watching it. And I'm gonna make a tweet about it. And I'm gonna be like, not watching, no black women. And it's honestly not that hard to wish on a show's downfall because nothing gets renewed. It's really not that hard to pray on the downfall of a TV show. If I see something and I'm like, no black women, I hope it fails. It probably will. Not because there's no black women, but because TV. So it's like, honestly, it's a win-win for me. So I guess whatever. And they took password sharing away. Do y'all remember that tweet where Netflix was like, sharing is caring or something with passwords? Now all of a sudden, if you don't live in the same house as your family, you can't share passwords. Like, why would I have a streaming service if I can't even share with my, like, me and my family literally split streaming service. The only streaming service that I pay for on my own is Apple TV. And I would say fuck all them other streaming services and I would keep Apple TV because they have everything I'm looking for. Great visuals, sci-fi TV shows, people of color, queer people, and all of their media almost, and nothing ever gets canceled. Whoever is funding Apple TV has money and a dream. They are on a mission. They are somebody who loves sci-fi and they want to create good TV shows, and they're doing it. Whoever is in that Apple TV chair, you're doing it for me. I'm an Apple TV shooter. I'm sorry. I love it. Very diverse. The shows are good. Some of my favorite TV shows out right now. It could be 4 people watching. And it's gonna get renewed. You bet. That's a great streaming service if you ask me. And then I remember I saw an article that said that TV shows have characters announce what they're doing, so people who aren't paying attention can still know what's going on. And I think that's so insane. And honestly, I think that's why we have so many problems with people needing to be told what they're seeing. I will never forget when House of the Dragon season 2 was coming out. There's this scene where one of the characters, and I'm gonna try not to spoil it all too much, but well, actually I know I'm gonna have to spoil it. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to spoil season 2 if you haven't seen it. I mean, it's dog shit. Season 1 was amazing. Season 2 was terrible. I didn't even finish it. Anyways, and you know how something terrible has to be for me to call it terrible? I watch anything. Anyways, sorry, on to the spoilers. So basically what happens is there's this character who knows that they're trying to kill the team green. I'm team black, okay? Whatever. They know that they're trying to kill Rhaenyra, right? So there's these 2 twins, and one twin works for the team green, the other team works for team black, right? So they were gonna have the twin pretend to be the one that works for team black and then kill Rhaenyra. So there's a character there who knew that. So she goes to tell one of the guards what's going on, but she doesn't do it on screen. But you can tell by looking at the screen that's exactly what she was gonna go do. Do you know how many comments I saw people being like, oh, like I just didn't understand what was going on here, and I just didn't get it, and like didn't understand like how she knew that. And I'm like, why do we need to have our hands held here? Why do we need to be told what's going on? Pay attention to the media that you're watching. People think that watching TV is such a passable media. That's why people take reading books more seriously than watching TV, because it takes so much more. Anyways, I don't know much about TV, but I do predict that cable will make its way back. It might be a minute, but like I do think that people are getting tired of streaming services. I know I'm getting tired of streaming services. I've actually made it a point to watch like cable TV type of shows. I'm also like my mom TV show era anyway, so like all the type of shows that I do watch do come on cable. But I just feel like cable type of TV shows have just been getting canceled less and less, and also the TV shows that I've been watching that have came on cable are getting renewed for like second and third seasons, like before the show even finished. And they're not like mainly cable TV shows, but I also watch like a lot of mom TV shows, like a lot of hospital shows, like Law and Order type of shows. That's kind of where I've been watching, so it's easier for them to get renewed because they have an audience. So that could also be the thing. But yeah, that's it for this video. Let me know how you feel about streaming services, how you think what's gonna happen. I definitely feel like this is such a good discussion to have. Yeah, that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.